Good morning, Verge. How are you?
Good morning, Jordy.
I know that you look at the football program like an organization, and as it's almost a business entity in itself. Verge, I said last segment, just looking at that organization on Saturday, it did not look like everyone was engaged. How did you view Saturday's game?
Jordy, you said a lot of things earlier that I have to agree with, and starting the beginning of this season in fall camp, and that's what I tell people. Football season usually starts in July the 4th. We weren't here, and we came in after COVID, and you look at the team and the starters we had projected in the camp to come back into what we are today. It's a different team,
Yeah.
and we didn't realize that. I didn't realize it was going to get affected in this way. But we can't quit. We got to keep playing. Half the season down. We got to work on some things though, and we have to work on on the defense side of the ball. You got two or three guys making the same mistakes over and over and over, and you put the other guys in there, and the same mistakes are happening. And those are things that you got to look at as a staff and say, okay, where are we? We all got to look at it. We're part of this too. Where are we? Why do these guys keep making the same mistakes over and over and over? And how do we get the right people on the field to they're not understanding it, they're not processing it. It's a disconnect you talked about. I think things that need to do over. 2020 has been a rough year. We're starting, get through this year, play every game, don't quit, play hard. You're right. At the end of that first quarter, the score was 0-0.
Mm-hmm.
And adversity hit us. We turned the ball over. We turned three scores came off for turnovers. It just got out of hand really fast. But you talked about some things about the character of the program and the players. And you look at the character of the players and the program and see, where are we and where we want to be. I think the first thing we need to do, we have to retain players.
Mm-hmm.
We can't let that many players, for some reason, opt out, leave early, and go get drafted in the fourth, fifth round. Those type of things. But look at other places. Why are we having so many guys opting out? That's a question we all got to ask ourselves within this program and ourselves, myself included, everybody, administration, everybody. Why are we having so many guys to opt out? And then the character of the players and who we're recruiting and where we're recruiting at. You're right. I saw some of those players. You're losing and giggling and laughing. And I don't like that either. As a former player now, taking my administrative hat on as a former player. No, you don't like that. You don't like to see that, especially on the sideline. You're getting beat like that. Nothing's fun about that day for the coaches, administrators, everybody. It's an embarrassing performance. We got beat and can't do anything about it. And you're gonna win some games, you're gonna lose some games. At the beginning of the year when you circle this game, we knew even with the team that come in, it would be a tough game at Auburn. The road games we had, what games were tough, and where we would be. And you came off a national championship, and you didn't expect to win every game, but you just want to play better and play well. And those are the things that we look at. We look at recruiting players. And something I gave the coaches the other day. You look at the 2001 team, the 2003 team, the 2017, 2011 team, 2019 team. I want you to go back and everybody look back at the two deep on both of those all those rosters, those 9 rosters. That's our SEC national championship teams. And you see a lot of Louisiana on there. And got to get back to that. Where are we good at? We recruit Texas, Houston, parts of Dallas, East Texas, the Golden Triangle, Louisiana, Mississippi, a little bit of Alabama, Florida, Atlanta. You stay there in those places and recruit the number one player from probably every other state, you win a national championship every other year. You be in that running. And that's what we got to get back to. Get back to our base to what we do well. And that's the way I see it right now.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the opting out, and because that's a double-edged sword, right? I mean, you want to recruit NFL SU when you turn on every Sunday. You got guys littered all over the field, but you also want to have that veteran leadership in the locker room that you can rely on. And some of the guys that may be in that role this season are backups on an NFL team that could come back. How do you approach that? Because you want your guys to be in the league and you want them to be developed, because that's all of their goals. That they, when they're recruited, they all believe that they're NFL players and they want to get to Sunday. And LSU does a great job of doing that. But how do you retain them and keep the dream alive?
We have to do a better job right now, and I'm saying we, the whole all LSU, anybody involved with football, anybody involved in administration, will start recruiting the players currently on the team today. And this is the open week. Hey, you got beat. We talk about it, watch the film, get better. But, guys out there that are thinking about it, guys are thinking about, what's my next opportunity. You need to talk to them where they are, where they are in the draft process, and what's going on with it. And be honest and open to those guys. And that's what we're going to do. And we always have done that. But we just need to do more of that, Jordy, to make sure that we retain these guys. It's retention. And make sure that the guys on the team right now, the young men on the team right now, hey, some of them, they might not be able to play here. That's good. But really, the guys that could play, look, we played a lot of freshmen, a lot of young guys out there. We got to start re-recruiting all those players on the team right now. And you look at your depth chart, you look at your board, and say, you know what? This guy's important. This guy's important. This guy's important. This guy's going to help us win. Number one, number two. You count the guys on the field right now. All those young guys. Hey, we got to get them back. We got to keep them up. All right, it's going to be a rocky year up and down. We got to get back. We got 5 games left. Got to play well in all 5 of those games. And look, they're tough games. None of those games are easy left on our schedule. But that's what you have to do within the program, and we all have to do that. Be part of this.
Talking to Verge Ausberry here on Off the Bench, 104.500 94.7 ESPN. Verge, when I hear you talk about not retaining players and having to keep these guys kind of up and keep them in the program, keep them bought in. And then when I watch these films every Sunday night, it's I see these same disconnects between what the scheme is, what players are supposed to be doing. It just feels like the common denominator is, and then like you said, the body language, everything else. Outside looking in, it feels like this team is just a little disconnected from the coaching staff. What is your view of that current relationship right now?
Well, and like I said, you got to be there every day to understand that part of it. And I'm not in there every day with the coaches and the players. I think they have to have a meeting where they all get together and talk and look each other in the face. And everybody has to evaluate themselves. When you lose a game and you lose a game the way you lost the game, I think everybody within the program do a self-check, we call it, and evaluate yourself. Where are you? Dedication to the program. And Coach O's going to do that. First thing you do is start talking to your assistant coaches, all of them, your analysts, everybody involved in the program. No matter what you do in that office, from administrative assistant to trainer to manager to strength coach, everybody within that program, you got to have face-to-face with them. You got to be, hard, constructive criticism, and, can't be sensitive to what's going to come out of everybody's mouth. And you got to take it because bottom line, like I said, you have a lot of football. This is an open week. You have time right now to make those adjustments. You don't beat the kids up. You don't beat the young men up, okay? They're young. They're kids. And, hey, you know what? How are we going to get them to perform better? What do we have to do to get them to play better? So, that's what you do with the student athletes. You don't beat them up, dog curse them, there's not a time for that right now. The time for that right now is to make sure, that they're healthy, that they're doing what they're supposed to do in school. And look, we got to get back. We got to concentrate. We got to watch our film. We got to study. Actually, how can I make you better as a player? How can I get you to accomplish the goals you want to accomplish as a player? Because I know as a player, if you have any heart, you don't want to look like that like you looked Saturday.
No, that's right. Verge Ausberry joining us here just like he does every Monday, brought to you by Capital Partners. Do you like the bye this week? Would you rather be playing? I know you can't control it, but do you invite the bye this week?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do. Where we are right now, where we're playing right now, I think we need the bye. We need the open week before we play Florida. We came out and played well. I think we need to. You got to regroup. You got to refocus. I mean, everybody in the football buildings need to refocus and regroup. You got to get back together again. So it gives you some time. It gives you some time to study what's going on within your program. Like I said, it's a self-evaluation. It's a self-check of what's going on in the building from top to bottom. From the moment you walk in to the cafeteria to everything in that building, we need to look at.
I know Cam Thomas and the LSU basketball team are ready. They're going to be great.
They have a great program this year, hopefully.
All right, Verge. Thank you, man. We'll talk to you next Monday.
Thank you, Jordan T-Bob. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Verge.
Verge Ausberry checking in as we're
Great
brought to you
insight.
daily by, it's one thing that that's one thing we can credit Verge on. I can tell you that being in this position and doing radio after a performance like LSU had on Saturday, that is a tough task. And in years past, the LSU administration has been breathing down the neck of this show specifically. And for an administrator to come on and give you transparency like he has done over the last couple of weeks, I very much compliment Verge and the leadership over there because I think that gives both the fan base and you, the customer, an inside look of the mentality of what they expect on that athletic administration level, and gives you some of the outlook from a executive team member in Verge.
And to me, Jordy, that's the only way it's going to get fixed, right? Nothing makes me more frustrated than seeing these performances and then hearing from people that, oh, well, it's this guy's fault, or it's this guy's fault, or it's this outside source's fault. If you can't look in the mirror and figure out what mistakes you did, like where you misstepped in order to create your current situation, then you have no hope of getting it fixed. And that's exactly what Verge is talking about right there. It reminds you, like, okay, just a random life thing that always stuck with me. My sister at one point dating a guy who used to be an alcoholic, right? And we were talking about it, and he's like, the main thing that I had to learn, instead of blaming everybody else for what was going on with me in every situation, even if I thought it was unfair, I had to ask, what did I do to bring myself here? And when he started doing that, he got his life back on track because he took responsibility and he fixed the root core of the problem. Everybody in this LSU building right now has to ask themselves, what did I do to contribute to this problem? And that is the only way. If you cannot acknowledge those truths and you were to continue to blame outside people, then you will never get it fixed.
Close that hour one next.